Shut up and sit down.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the final episode of Pardon Me, Alex for season 7. And what a season it's been. An absolute roller coaster of a season. Obviously, you're here with Alex and Jax. We'll have a special guest joining us in just a second. But we just wanted to come on and do our normal end of the season spiel. If you've been with us for the past 7 seasons, you know that we always have a season wrap up and we discuss all the things about the season, good, the bad, the ugly. We give out some season final awards that we've made up and are totally arbitrary, most of them. And there's no rules or rhymes or reasons to them. But we're excited to kind of put a final bow on this season. That way we can stop looking backwards and start looking forwards.
Onwards and upwards, baby.
Onwards and upwards is right. Start looking towards the future of SFA basketball because I have a really, really good feeling that it's going to be a bright future. So, Jacqueline, who do we have joining us already on your lap?
McGonagall, of course.
Typical. Good morning, Mac. Love to see it. Say hello. Hello. Okay, awesome. So, quick little, I guess, life recap. Jacqueline, what's been going on with you?
Not a lot. Busy with work, trying to keep up with March Madness, dragging today from 2 roller coaster rides of games last night, but
yeah,
man, were they good. They were so good. And I think we've all kind of been like hoping that Tech does well, but also we won't be upset if they're done because then we have our coach sooner.
I know.
And they pulled out a hell of a comeback last night in OT. So survive in advance, live to fight another day.
100%. Survive in advance is the theme every year of March Madness. And honestly, I was watching the games last night and then I fell asleep in the middle of the games, regardless of how exciting they were. I was just dog dead tired. And then I literally wake up at like 7 a.m. this morning to like 25 missed texts from our text group about the games. And I'm just like, what happened? And so I had to go and watch recaps of the games.
I figured you were asleep because we were all chiming in and you were silent.
Smooth out. I was dead to the world for hours. Like, I'm tired when I pass out on my Chase lounge and wake up there at 7 in the morning wondering where I am.
What day was it? Where am I?
100%. Yeah, I was out like a light. Anyway, so same with me, busy with work. It's the end of March and that means we have about a month and change left of school, so everything's crazy, everything's wacky, and students are stressed out, teachers are stressed out, so that means I'm stressed out because my faculty are stressed out. So there's that. And we're also going through, if you're an instructor or higher ed professional, about accreditation processes. We're going through our accreditation reaffirmation this year and next year, so it's just added pressure and added stress. So that's fun. But other than that, just super busy at the brewery as per usual. And then of course, I just got a new tattoo. So that's my other news. So yay me. That's my stress relief, I guess. But anyway, enough about that. Yeah, those are our lives. Crazy and we know it. But anyway, you're not here for that. You're here for some breakfast and basketball. So without further ado, we want to bring on our special guest. So our special guest is the homecoming. It's a long thing. Our SFA Homecoming Alumni Auction Award winner. It's like a really
The Alumni Homecoming Auction Award winner.
There we go. That's easier. Thank you. So anyway, every year for the Homecoming Alumni Auction, we give away basically opportunities for people to be on our podcast, to hang out with us and at games and, do all these different things. And so this is our award winner who's coming on the podcast. And we are very, very excited to welcome our friend and fellow big Lumberjack fan, Travis Johnson, to the stage.
Hey, everybody. How are you?
We're doing well.
Good. I wanted to win this so bad. I would remember on the bid, I was like, refresh. And I think it said if there was another bid, it like extended the time by 5 minutes or something. So that's how bad I wanted to be here. I was stressed out. It was like wanting something on like a Cabbage Patch Kid on eBay or something.
We'll take that.
Anyway, so yeah, good to be here.
That's so awesome.
Coveted package, and we're happy you won.
Yep. Sorry it took so long to get this scheduled, but thank you.
It's been a wild season, so we understand.
It has. There were times when I was excited I won. I was like, yeah, let's get on and talk about that game. And then the season went on. I'm like, I don't know. Maybe we'll just wait. It
was a roller coaster. It was a ride.
Let's look forward, like you said. But yeah.
No, we totally get that. And it was hard for us too, again, if anyone that listened to us this season, it was like pulling teeth sometimes to get on here and talk about, double losses. And it was just like,
y'all were troopers though.
Yeah.
I would watch a game and it wasn't looking so good. And there you were right behind in your normal spots on ESPN Plus. I was like, look at them. They're doing it.
We know what? We're sacrificing it for the people. I tell you what. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate what y'all do.
Awesome. Thanks, Travis. Give everybody just a quick little synopsis, I guess, of you and what years you were at SFA.
Yeah.
What you did and maybe where you're at now, just so everybody knows who the heck you are.
Yeah, it's funny because I've always been big into basketball and stuff. Mm-hmm. So I did a year and a half at TVCC in Athens, and it was cool because they had a great men's and women's basketball program there. It was funny. I was there when Sean Kemp actually went there from Kentucky, I believe, and he never actually made it on the court, but he was there for a short time, and so was Nick Van Exel before he went to Cincinnati to finish his college career. So that was cool. And then I ended up going to SFA. Coach Joe Curl, who was at Athens, then went to be the women's coach at SFA for a couple years. So that was cool because I was close to him and some of the teams. So when I went to SFA, I was already back then. The women's team was, I mean, they're really good now, but like back then that was when Cheryl Swoops was at Texas Tech and all that. But so anyway, was at SFA 93 to 96 and always was involved in the sports and stuff there. So it was a good time. I remember most of it.
Same. Yeah.
Yeah. But
I feel like that's everybody.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, that's so fun. So where are you at now? Where you live in?
Yeah, I live up in Salina, Texas now. Moved here last year. Been in the McKinney area pretty much out of college. Came up to the Dallas area, and I'm in healthcare doing sourcing. Sounds like a lot of fun, but you can imagine it's been interesting trying to get products from all over the world for our hospitals. So that's been my week. But yep, married, wife Amy, 3 dogs, and they're quiet so far. So far, so good.
What kind of dogs are they? I need to know.
I've got 2 pugs that are purebred pugs. And then we got this rescue. He's like half pug, half Brussels Griffin.
Oh, look
Kramer.
at it.
We named him after Kramer from Seinfeld because of his crazy hair. See, look
Oh, we
at that
love
hair.
that. Oh my
We-
God, that is so great.
We
Big Seinfeld fans over here.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Well, our other dog is Bosco for the chocolate drink.
I love it.
And
I
the
love
next time we get a girl, she's gonna be Stella.
Stella.
Yes. So
Stella.
there you go. But anyway, yeah, Kramer, he was advertised on their rescue site, and we saw him for like a day, and a week went by, and I was like, no, we don't need another dog. And then they posted the story about how they found him in a sack in a field or something with his siblings, and he was literally in a bag, and I was like, okay, we'll go get him.
Oh,
So anyway,
Kramer.
so we're
Love
pug people.
that.
Yeah.
So
He's so cute.
Yeah, he's a mess. Thanks.
I mean, Kramer's a mess, so that totally
Yes.
checks
Oh,
out.
it totally fits the way he walks into a room and everything. Like it's the perfect. We've had people say it's literally the perfect name for him.
Obsessed.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Obsessed with Kramer. Oh my God. Okay.
Oh, and I
Fantastic.
like your new ink too.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just got it done on Wednesday, so it's still a little spicy. So I'm
Yeah.
trying to air it out right now.
Well, I do have kind of a general basketball question for y'all.
Let's hear it.
Okay.
So what are you mentioned the games last night, which those were awesome, but and I know McNeese definitely looked good in their first round, but I'm starting to think that the landscape, with just all the NIL stuff, people are talking about how Arkansas at a 10 seed is going to be like the new type of Cinderella, with all the players moving around and stuff. So was just curious your thoughts with the new coach coming in and maybe the future of SFA basketball competing, at a higher level, just in general.
Okay, so I'll say real quick. I
Lot
did
to
hear
unpack.
them say but I think what their point was that Arkansas is like the Cinderella at this point of the tournament.
Yes.
Not
Yeah.
necessarily like from start to finish. And I don't know. I mean, NIL, it certainly makes it hard, I think, to retain players because
Yes.
there's a lot more opportunity and temptation to get more NIL dollars elsewhere.
Right.
But also, I think if you really look, there's still the same amount of spots that are trying to be filled. So players are going
Right.
to have to go somewhere. So I don't think it's like we're never going to have like our just opportunity to get players is completely gone because
Right.
there's still the same amount of players trying to get the same amount of spots. But it certainly, I think, is more of an issue for retention.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
we have a new coach coming in, and so I think it's just now it's going to put more pressure on colleges to retain a good culture and have a coach who can connect with players and have other reasons, for retention besides
Yeah.
just that. So, and I think our new coach has plenty of experience with the NIL being at a Big 12 school, so I'm hopeful.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. I 100% concur with Jacqueline in terms of I think the biggest issue with the NIL stuff, it has been and moving forward it will continue to be, is retention and keeping players here. I think recruiting is easier in terms of you have 1,000 players in the portal, I mean, just the other day it was like at 700. I'm sure it's probably
wow.
at least 1,000 now, if not more. There are so many players to choose from. And a lot of those players were most likely people who were, on the bench most of the season and they want to play. And so I think getting them here is easier, but then keeping them here is what the issue is. And I totally agreed with Jacqueline. It's just because the temptation is there. I mean, we had players on our team, not this season, but last season who were number one starting off the bet, like starters who could have easily stayed their last season, but decided to move for one reason or another. But I'm sure one of the main reasons was the fact that another school with bigger NIL money was giving them an opportunity to still start, but then also make more money.
Yeah.
So it's like, how do you compete with that other than continuing to beef up our NIL presence at SFA. And that's not just for basketball, that's across the board in sports in general. And so it's just trying to compete not only on the court, but also with money, with NIL money is the biggest issue that we're going to have. And looks like Amy. Hi, Amy.
That's funny.
Wonder who that is. And yes, we've been watching Trell. And he's one of the players I was mentioning a few seconds ago, was the fact that he was a starter on our team, and we still love him. So do not think we're hating on him. Like we love him so much.
Yeah, we do too.
We're supporting him 100%, of course. Yeah. So he starter on our team, was amazing, still is amazing, but yet he moves to, UNT, which is not going to say it's a huge jump, but it's a bigger jump than remaining on SFA's team. In terms of he's now moving closer to his family up in Dallas, which of course is probably a big reason why he did that. And B, because it is a little bit bigger school and they have more opportunities with NIL, and most likely they probably had more opportunities for him to be exposed to, potentially moving and playing in bigger atmospheres, meaning like, playing against better competition, playing past college too, more exposure. So, and as we see, he was probably made the right choice because this season was not great for us. So, it's a great question. It's an ongoing and continually evolving.
Yeah. It's a complex evolution.
It is. NIL has already changed the landscape of college sports, but it's going to continue to affect it in ways we probably haven't even considered.
Well, and the main thing is also in conjunction with that is how easy it is to transfer now, because, just a few years ago, if you transferred, you had to sit out a whole season. So there were roadblocks up to really make you think about it. Now it's like just at the toss of a coin, you can decide to jump in and be somewhere else the very next year playing and not lose any eligibility. So there's no
that's so true
for doing it. And we're talking about 18 to 22-year-old guys. Like if they don't have any kind of penalty for making a snap decision.
Right. There's no ramifications really at all. I mean, we've seen guys who've literally hit the portal every single season, have had 4 different teams in their college career. And while, that sounds so, to me, that sounds like you're just hop, skipping and jumping just to find the next opportunity and the next big thing. Like that's not loyalty to me. I don't know. I mean, but who knows what the situations were, but that's another thing too, is before, I mean, if you didn't like your coach, I mean, you either stuck it out or you transferred and had to sit out a season. And it's like, oh, crap, I'm just going to stay because I don't want to miss a whole season of basketball.
Yeah.
So now it's like, oh, if I don't like the coach, like I'm hitting the portal and deuces, bye, baby. And then I'm going to go find another team. Maybe I like that coach. Maybe I like that team. Maybe I don't. I stay for a season and then I shop around. I mean, it's like, it reminds me of people who like lease cars and they don't have a very long commitment. They're just like, you know what? I'll lease this car for a few months or for a year. And then if I don't like it, screw it. I'm going to get a new one. It's like, dang, man, commit to something.
No, and don't totally hold me to the stat. I know I'm going to be close, but I heard yesterday of the remaining teams in the tournament, I want to say Maryland was the only team that had 3 or 4 players from the year before consistent starters. I want to say it was Kentucky. One of the schools had 4 new starters this year, so you're seeing teams totally turn over their starting 5.
Yeah. Kentucky was the one that had almost a whole new team, but
completely.
That's nothing new for them. So that's all I'll say about that.
It's wild. No, it's and wild. Like, I mean, we could talk about this for hours, but because it's such a big deal now for college sports. It's game changing. It could be, if you know how to work the portal and you know what to look for and you know what kind of recruits you want, man, you can recruit the absolute hell out of great starting lineup guys, some good 6-man off the bench players. and really, really, really turn the tides for your team. And that's kind of what we're hoping for in terms of SFA. And,
Right.
as much as I would hate to see all of our team go, like, we know a few guys have already committed to staying, so that's great. But again, it's the same thing as we have a whole new coaching staff coming in, so it's like everybody out there just needs to just sit back and relax, and then wait till the portal is closed and wait till all of this is done before you start jumping to conclusions.
Right.
Because it's no good to be like, well, who's this? What's happening? What's going on? Who's this guy? What's this guy? We don't know. Nobody knows. I don't even think students know.
And our new coach is still in the tournament. So
that part.
He's kind of busy right now.
Exactly. And I agree with Jacqueline. Last night I was really hoping, and hey, Coach Matt, I'm so sorry. I was really hoping that y'all were going to lose so that we could get you sooner. That's my only reason. Not because I don't like tech. It's because we just want you to be in NAC now and not 3 weeks from, you know what I mean?
Your heart's in the right place for wanting them to lose.
Yes.
So,
and exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So anyway, we can kind of just smooth transitioning kind of like right into where we just kind of season recap it.
Yeah.
Because like I said, we could sit here and talk about NIL forever.
That sounds great. I appreciate y'all having me on. I'm about to have to jump to take care of some work, but I'm going to have y'all going in the background and watch the rest of the show.
Yeah, and feel free to comment and put things in the comment box, and we'll talk about it. And when we hope Amy sticks on too, because we always love hearing from her whether she's available to stay on. But we appreciate you so much coming on, and even though it was a very short-lived appearance, you're always welcome to come.
Yes,
back
thanks for having me. It reminds me of the skit where Kramer had the talk show, the talk show in his apartment, or
the Merv Griffin show.
Yes, the chair.
We may do an offshoot podcast.
That would be awesome.
Where we just talk about Seinfeld episodes.
Yes, we will definitely schedule a Seinfeld with you later.
That would be awesome.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, thank y'all.
Thanks, Trav. We appreciate you.
All right.
Have
bye.
a good Friday.
All right.
Oh,
man, I had no idea that Travis and Amy were such Seinfeld fans.
I loved them before, and I love them even more now because
going up.
Our respect just keeps piling up. Love to see it. Oh, look, Amy said, "Yeah, I'm down for a Seinfeld podcast."
Yes, we'll have you both on for sure.
We'll do it. We'll do it. Make that an off-season podcast, and we don't have much going on.
Yeah, that'll be a great one. Okay,
I love that.
I'll dive in and start us off. Let's
just go because I don't want to dwell too much on the negative. So let's just do it.
All right. So our overall record for the season, 14-17.
Can I pause already? Hold on. When was the last time that we had a losing season?
Probably 2018, 2019 season.
That's what I was thinking. I'd have to go back and look, but I'm pretty sure that was it.
Yeah. That's the last time that we didn't make the conference tournament. So
and was it because we had a losing or just the conference part we blew? I don't remember. I'd have to go back and look. I've slept and drank since then, so I don't know.
I don't know. All right. I will break down for y'all the overall, then we'll let Alex give the net, and then we're going to start going through season best and worst. So 1 conference games, we were 7-4. The wins there, we beat University of Dallas. We beat LeTourneau. We beat... I'm having to just go through this because my Google Docs was not working earlier. We beat Monmouth. I believe that was an Axum Classic. Yes, it was. We beat Youngstown. Mm-hmm. We beat Lim.
Mm-hmm.
We beat Texas Wesleyan.
Mm-hmm.
One more. Who did we beat? Non-conference. Don't know. Doesn't matter. We'll just keep going. Losses. For non-conference, we lost to Drake. We lost to Arkansas State. We lost to Presbyterian. And we lost
We
to
lost to non-con.
Now for the conference, we were 7-13.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, all right, yeah, okay. I'm just gonna go through them in order because it'll just be easier that way.
Go for it.
Oh, I know what it was. They put UTRGV. Oh wait, never mind. Just kidding. All right. Conference, we lost to UTRGV, to Texas A&M Corpus Christi. Oh, the Abilene Christian was the other non-conference win.
There you go. I was like, wait, what? Okay.
We lost to Incarnate Word. We lost to Houston Baptist. We beat Lamar. Lost to Sela. Lost to Nichols. Lost to McNeese. Lost to Northwestern in overtime. Beat Texas A&M, East Texas A&M. We lost to Lamar. Beat NOLA. We beat Texas A&M Corpus Christi. We beat UTRGV. We beat Northwestern on the road. Beat East Texas A&M again. Lost to UIW again. Lost to Houston Christian again. And lost to Nichols and McNeese both at home for the last two. So,
and then, so real quick, I pulled up, I don't even know what website this is. I was just trying to figure out what our net was so that I could put that on there for us. I'm pretty sure that our starting net and our ending net were the exact same thing at 273. Yeah. I'd have to double check that, but our ending net is definitely 273. Which, to be fair, isn't the worst in the Southland, but it isn't the best. I'll tell you that much, because also on this website, it also shows me our quad 1, 2, 3, and 4 games and what wins and losses were in that category. So just real quick, interesting enough, there was only 3 quad 1 games we played, which were Drake, Oregon, and McNeese. McNeese is a quad 1 based off their net. They're at 58 net, which is really high. I mean, they deserve that, but like for a Southland team at 58, they're 2 away from Drake is all I'm saying. Anyway, and then quad 2 were Arkansas State and also McNeese, which I don't understand why they're in both, but maybe it's like a cusp thing. I don't know. And then quad 3, we actually had 3 wins in quad 3, which again, whoop-be, I guess. I don't know. Which were the Abilene Christian win, Lamar, and Northwestern State. And then all the rest of everything is in quad 4. So I thought that was pretty interesting. I thought we literally only played 1 quad 1 game this year, which would have been Oregon, but quad 1 is had 3 teams in it. So thought that was interesting.
It is.
Anyway.
All right. We are going to run through our season best and worst. Then we'll get into our individual stat team leaders, and we'll alternate through that.
Okay, sounds good.
So season best win. Alex, who do you have?
Yeah, so season best, I put 2 just because there was 2 that I thought were, and again, this is not like bearing and like, quad or net win dependent. This is just based on like personal opinion on.
Yeah, this is our personal best
background of the games and the teams and whatnot and have you. Okay, so mine were Louisiana Monroe and Northwestern, and I'll tell you why for both really quickly. So Louisiana Monroe, best win because we've been trying to beat these SOBs in their home territory for years, and it's always been a struggle, and every time we get close, we get punched in the gut. And so it was really, really nice to finally get a win at Louisiana Monroe. regardless.
I could not agree more. We have struggled with them so many times over the last few years, and Alex and I made that trip, and we were so happy. It was a great game. The guys all played great. Matt had a tremendous game, which he always does when we he generally always has a great game, but he always has an extra like fire moxie when we play in Louisiana.
Ooh,
Always.
I like the term moxie.
I love the term moxie. I've heard a couple of sports broadcasters use it this tournament, and I love it. It's one of my favorite words. But yeah, he's definitely got a little extra something in the tank whenever we play in Louisiana, and it was just a great win.
Yeah, 100%. Love the term moxie, and I agree with Matt. There's just something about the Louisiana soil that just gives him an extra pep in his step. I don't know why. Yeah. I mean, he's from Louisiana. That's one of the reasons, clearly. But I think it's just, he feels comfortable on Louisiana soil, I guess. And, anyway. So Louisiana Monroe, and then the other is obviously, like I said, the Demons at Northwestern, mainly because they're one of our biggest rivals, always has been, always will be, and because we beat them at their home in that stupid airplane hangar on the night that they dedicated the court to what's his face?
Coach McConkey, or however you say his name.
McConaughey. Yeah, McConaughey.
Yeah, whatever.
So I thought that was just sweet justice that, we beat them on their court during their court dedication ceremony night. And apparently when they had a sold out upper and lower bowl, give me a break, brother. Yeah. It was not sold out, and you don't have an upper bowl. Anyway.
That was a great one to win on the road. And again, Alex and I made that trip, and big thanks to Laura. Moxie is a great term and great hotel chain. Dustin Hilton.
Didn't even know that was a hotel chain, but thanks, Rev.
I didn't either. Yes. But yeah, that was a great one. Alex and I made that trip, and big thanks to Laura for our courtside seats. And we hung around with Laura after the game to give all the guys a hug as they were getting on the bus. But I will use that one to segue right into our next category, because another reason that was one of our best wins. Travis says Matt's buzzer beater versus NOLA was an awesome moment, and when it surely was. That was a great one also, and I'm glad that you brought that up, because
me too.
That was a Sports Center top 10 play right there. So that was a great one. But
we're gonna bring that up too later.
The reason that Demons Moxie has a great bar too, Travis says.
We're gonna have to figure out where the hell these Moxies are.
So another reason that was such a great win, that win at Northwestern on the road, is because earlier in the season we lost to them at home, which for me was my personal worst loss for many reasons. Northwestern, one of our biggest rivals at home. That was our first game with Tony as the interim coach, and I felt like we were really poised to win that one. And really, really wanted it. And we just couldn't get it. So that was a disappointing one for me. That was probably my worst loss.
But yeah, I totally understand. To me, my worst loss is, again, I put two because it was hard to choose. For me, like, the HCU losses and the UIW losses, the fact that we lost to both of them twice, that hurts, because we haven't lost to it was HBU, now it's HCU. We haven't lost to them in a long time. Like, so that was like a personal, like, gut punch. Because I'm just like, what the frick? We let this team that plays in a freaking gym beat us? What is happening?
I'm glad you included that one, because that was rough. And yeah, both of those two, I mean, they generally, over our time spent in the Southland, are pretty close to the bottom.
Yes.
And so to get beat by both of them twice, not fun.
Rev said, funny story, Coach McConaughey loved the hecklers when I ran them. He used to send me Christmas cards. That's so funny. And thank you, Rev, for reminding me about the good old days of being in the hecklers. So when the hecklers, just a quick background story. Rev is talking about a group of students. It was organized but unorganized. So it's unlike Purple Haze. But we had leaders who were obviously organizing everything. And the hecklers always sat behind the away bench and we had shirts that said hecklers with like skull and crossbones on it. And we had orange traffic cones. And we would be the literal bane of any visiting team's existence. And it was literally the best time ever. Like I loved Purple Haze stuff. Don't get me wrong. But the hecklers was where it was at. And if you were there listening during the time of the hecklers, stand up and give a freaking bow because we were the shit. And everybody hated coming and playing at SFA because of us. And so I wish, and that's why we kept doing all those reunions, those Heckler Haze reunions. And I really want to get with Matt and maybe, do another one soon and Rev, because it was such a good time. And my mom said, I still have my Heckler shirt, but I gave it to her to wear because it didn't fit me anymore. I was a lot skinnier then. But anyway, so it's an old one. We were also a shit show too. Oh, we were a shit show as well. Yes, 100%. 100%. But that was one of my favorite parts coming to school at SFA, like freshman and sophomore year, was being in the hecklers and just literal bane of everybody's existence. So anyway, Rev said it hurts losing to IW because their fans suck. Well, that's also true too.
Yeah.
Literally.
Right.
Okay, perfect. I love reminiscing, but I love the conversation it's giving. It's making me, it's letting us just let it go. We're letting it go now. Like Elsa, Okay, moving on.
What do we got up next, Alex?
Oh, we have a best road trip overall. So Jacqueline and I had something down, and then I think I totally blacked out and forgot that we went on this trip. Because I was like, oh, wait, what am I doing? Of course, this is the best trip. So I think the best part of this season for both of us, again, wins, losses, doesn't matter. I think the best part of this season for us was going on the road trip with the team to Oregon. It was the first time we'd ever traveled with the team officially, with the team on their schedule, on
the bus, on the flight,
literally. And it was we had a great time. Regardless of how the game went. I think, to be fair, the game went great.
Especially looking at how Oregon's done in the tournament. I mean,
come on.
I'm not ashamed of our.
That looks better now, baby. So I'm not mad about that at all. But yeah, I had a great time. We had a great time. It was a good trip. We enjoyed Oregon, and Oregon was exactly how we thought it would be: rainy and gloomy 99% of the time we were there. And we just had fun. I mean, because we had some people join us that we're obviously good friends with. So that also helped, the fact that it wasn't just us two. Even if it was, we still had fun. But, our basketball peeps were with us too. So that's always a good time. And yeah, we just had a good time, and we had some good food. We saw some sights. So
it was a great trip, start to finish. I mean, we were so excited about our first official team travel. As y'all know, we've traveled to several tournaments that the guys have played in out of the country or wherever, and still hung out with them a lot. But this was the first time we got on the bus with them. We rode to the airport. We were on the same flight. Like, we were traveling with them. So it was a brand new experience. We, as y'all heard all season long, we absolutely love all the guys on our team from this year.
Such sweet boys.
It was a lot of time and travel with them. Absolutely love them. A lot of our group was there. Matt Postins was there. Just a great, fantastic time. Sightseeing, shopping, game, food.
Jacqueline had a real good time at the Nike store.
I had quite a haul from the Mecca of Nike.
How she fit all of her shit that she bought at the Nike store in her carry-on and backpack.
And amazing that I even did the carry-on in the first place, and then I bought
I'm still bitter about this.
shoes and still fit them in a carry-on. It was a miracle.
I'm still bitter about this because I'm not. I guess bitter isn't the word, but like when she texted me the night before and said, "Alex, guess what? I fit it all in a carry-on bag." I said, are we doing? This is not what? This never happens, first of all. And then I felt like I needed to match her and was like, well, fuck, fine, I'll do a carry-on too. And mine was a lot.
The carry-on that wasn't actually a carry-on anymore, but
no.
Anyway, you don't have to pay to check it. And that's the most important point.
That was the most important point. I didn't have to pay to check it, but each time it went through, it never ended up being a carry-on anyway. So it wouldn't have mattered anyway. But I was like, damn it, Jacqueline, you're going to show me up? Fine. And then I could have easily brought my one large suitcase and it not have been a big deal because they had 1,000 things to check. So mine would have just been another drop in the bucket. It wouldn't have been a huge deal. But anyway, I just thought it was funny. It's like this girl, anytime we go anywhere, she never, ever just carries on. We have like 8 bags apiece.
Never, ever.
Never.
So best food, we said the same thing, the same 2 trips, ULM and Oregon. Oregon, we had some fantastic food the whole time. We really did. Lots of good places. We had good drinks there too. We checked out a couple local brewery spots.
The brewery scene.
And we had some great food. We had some fresh seafood. But ULM, Louisiana, always going to have some great Cajun food, and we had some good food there too. So
we did. We always love finding new spots whenever we go somewhere. Of course, when we go places, we have our favorites, but if we can try to find someplace new to go, that's great too. Yeah. So Oregon, we had some good drinks. The hotel bar had some good drinks. The brewery the night before the game, Friday night was great. You know me specifically, I love a good brewery. And it was a fun little vibe atmosphere. We found like a tiny one, but like had a bunch of offerings, not just beer too. So Jacqueline also.
Yeah, they had lots of great cider. They had great food. And that's where we got serenaded by the Santa Claus pub crawl.
The naughty Santa Claus pub crawl.
Naughty like the Halls version. It was great.
Not suitable for tiny ears version of
work.
It was yeah, so it was a good little time and good food, good drinks. That's always good for a trip. Yeah. Okay. Moving on. So we talked about best food, talked about best road trip, final. Jacqueline and I were on the same page again for best home atmosphere. And last game of the year, even though we lost, that was the best attended game of the season for a good reason. It was on ESPNU, first of all, so it was nationally televised. And they literally saved up all of we already talked about this, so I'm not going to hash it back over, but like they literally saved up every big giveaway, anything they could have given away. They saved it for this game. And like, it was ripping and roaring, man. The students were packed out in there. I wish it was like that every time, but I feel it's like, we're not going to show up unless we have, thousands of dollars to give away or potentially win. And it's like, bro, what else are you doing on a Saturday night at 7 p.m.? Like, the good parties don't start till 10 or 11. So get off your ass. You know what I mean? It was a Monday, wasn't it? It wasn't even Saturday. It was a Monday.
Yeah, I believe that's right.
Monday at 7. You're not doing anything Monday at 7. Studying. Get off. Stop. Get out of here. Anyway.
All right. Now we'll go through the individual team stats and tell you the top 5 leaders in each category. So starting off with points. Number 1, we have Matthew Elizabeth Heyman with 433 points and 14 points per game. We got in second Keon Thompson with 310 points, 13.5 points per game. In spot 3, we got Mayor of Nacogdoches Nana, 275 points and 8.9 points per game. Spot 4, our Cece, who is returning next season. Thank you. With 237 points, 7.6 points per game. And in spot 5, our freshman Dominic Pangonis with 192 and 6.2 points per game.
That I'm not gonna say that surprised me, but it kind of did. Having Dom slip in there at top 5. I was actually kind of thinking that Miles would beat him out, but not by much. But to be fair, Dom played every single game and he didn't. So I guess that checks out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That reinforces one of my other picks when we get to our next section, which I haven't even looked at. All right.
I know. Moving on. Okay. So next is field goals made. So top 5 in field goals made. I think this person's probably going to lead the category every time, or at least be at the very tippity top every time. So Matt Heyman going to be number 1 with 155 field goals made. His percentage at the end of the season was 42%. Next is Keon Thompson at 116. So his percentage was 46%. Then we had Krishan Christmas, aka CC, with 91. He was at 37%. Then we had Nana, Mayor of Nac, at number 4 with 87 field goals made, 43, well, say 44%, we'll round up. And then last we have Dom with 68 made at 45%.
So now to go through the top 5 as far as field goal percentage. We got our boy Jelani Stone leading the way with 54.3% field goal. Let's see. Next, we got Clayton at 47.3. In second, in third, we have Keon with 46.6. In fourth, we got Dominic at 45%. And in fifth, we got Ethan at 44.4%.
Hey. All right, moving on to what's next. I need like 8 screens. 3 points made. Can we just do 3 points made and 3-point percentage like at the same time?
Well, yeah, you can, but it's not ordered by the highest percentage.
So. Okay, that's fair. It's not. Okay, well, then we'll do it separate. All right, so field goal, or I'm sorry, 3 points. 3 points made. So at the very top, you had Matt Heyman at 65, Nana at 27, Keith at 24, Dom at 17, and Miles at 16.
Percentage-wise, we got Ethan leading the way at 50%. Oh, no, sorry. Davion leading the way at 62.5%. Ethan in second at 50%. Y'all math, you got to give me a second. Third place, we have Miles at 30.8%. No, sorry. Third is Matt at 36.9%. Fourth is Miles at 30.8%. And fifth place would be Keith at 28.6%.
Love it. All right, moving right along to free throws made, which, considering how this person started off the season in free throws, I'm so glad that he made top of the list. We had number 1, Mayor of Nac, Nana, at 74 free throws made. Again, he struggled that first couple maybe weeks of the season and then finally figured it out. Then we had Keon at number 2, 69. Nice. Then we such a child.
She said.
That's what she said. Number 3 is Matt at 58. Number 4, CC at 43. And number 5, Dom at 39.
All right. First time we've seen this in a while. Our leader of free throw percentage, Ethan Mays at 100%.
To be fair, he only had 2.
2 of 2, but he's 100%, baby.
Sorry,
Let's
okay.
see. In second at 80%, we got Chris Johnson. Last from the
Thank
past
you.
there.
God
Since
bless America.
We only had him play in 3 games, but he was 4 or 5, so 80%. Third place was Keon at 76.7%. Fourth place, we got a 2-way tie with Matt and Davion at 66.7%.
Love it. Okay, moving on to rebounds. So in rebounds, let's see here. Okay, I got it. All right. I was like, wait, what does that mean? All right, so in the top 5 in rebounds, we had Nana at 182 rebounds. CC, 174 rebounds in second place. Matt in third with 126, actually tied with Jelani at 126 and the team total at 126. And then we had Keon at 120. It's not bad.
Offensive rebounds. Leader, we have Nana with 68. We have the team. I'm not going to even say that one because that's just who knows. So second place, we got Jelani with 60. Third, we have CC with 55. Fourth, we have Keon with 37. And in fifth place, we got Matt with 28.
Again, still cracks me up that Keon had more, not more, but he had, 126 rebounds.
Yeah.
Tied with Jelani and tied with, it's just wild. Okay. Anyway. And then are we doing defensive too?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I have to go back screen to screen. So that's why I'm checking. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. So defensive, in first place, we have CC with 119. Jesus. Insane. In second, we have Nana with 114. In third, we have Matt with 98. In fourth, we got Keon with 83. And then in fifth, Jelani 66.
Nice. All right. Assist. Our top 5 leaders. We got Matt with 82. So 2.6 per game. We got Keon with 75, 3.3 per game. Dom with 46, 1.5 per game. We got CC in fourth, 41, 1.3 per game. And rounding out the top 5, Nana with 27 overall and 0.9 per game.
Love to see it. All right, moving on to block shots. So number 1, we got Nana with 40. CC is in second with 20. Jelani in third with 19. Tierno in fourth with 14. And Miles rounds that up with 9.
Yay, Miles. Steals. Leading the way, CC with 55. Matt just 1 behind with 54.
Nice.
Keon in third with 41. Nana in fourth with 25. And Dom in the top 5 with 19.
Love it. Moving on to the not so great stat of most turnovers. Sorry, boys. So in first place, we got Matt Heyman with 94, which is surprising. I thought the next person would have the most, but Keon with 82.
Me too. And that's, again, we've said this every time we talk about it. No slight to Keon. He is the point guard. You are the one with the highest risk of turning the ball over because you have it the most.
Yeah. And the only reason he wasn't in first place is most likely because he didn't play as many games as Matt.
Yeah, he played 8 less games. So he would have made up 12.
100%, because his turnover per game ratio was 3.6, which is obviously higher than what Matt's was. So again, that's Anyway, Keon had 82. Cece had 61. And then a big drop from there down to Dom with 37. And then Nana with 35.
Personal fouls leading the way. Matt with 81. In second, Cece with 67. In third, Keon with 59. Just one behind him. In fourth, Jelani with 58. Nana at number 5 with 53.
Damn. Minutes per game. So shockingly enough, I was surprised that Matt wasn't in first with minutes per game, but seeing as how much he fouls, it makes sense now. So Cece's in first place with 958. This boy is a workhorse. Jesus, Pete. I'm so glad he's back. Anyway, Matt Heyman with 894. I mean, that's a huge drop. Okay. And then we have Nana with 774, Keon 745, and then Dom with 662. I mean, let me just be clear. Cece literally, I mean, it's 31 minutes. Okay, 31 games played. He literally had 30.9 minutes per game. Almost 31 minutes per game. So almost the exact same of games played as minutes. Which trying to figure out the math there. But anyway.
Can't find the assist to turnover ratio, so we will just go into the next, unless you have it handy. We can just go into the game high team.
It's under miscellaneous.
Oh, okay. I'll let you do that one then.
Okay.
Buffering
No,
here.
you're good. So assist to turnover ratio, literally there's only 5 people on it. So, okay. First on there is Keenan with 11 assists to 4 turnovers. So 2.75 is the ratio. Chris Johnson, 5 and 5. So 1. Keith Lamar, 24 to 23. So 1.04. Dom 46 to 37, so 1.24, and then Luke 1 and 1. What a wild stat.
It is. All right. We'll go into game highs for the team, and we'll alternate back and forth. So
Correct.
Game high points for the team was 88 against New Orleans. That was February 3rd, 25.
Love it. Let's see here. Game high field goals made was 36, and that was when we played Dallas on 11-4-24.
Field goal attempts high was 77, also against the University of Dallas.
3-point field goals made was 13, and that was when we played Nichols on March 1st.
3-point field goal attempts. The high was 35. We did that in 2 different games against Nichols that day that we had the most made, so that's good. But the other one was New Orleans game, the February 3rd, where we scored the most points.
Love that. Next, free throws made was 20, and that was our first jaunt versus McNeese on January the 20th.
Free throw attempts, same game. We had 32 free throw attempts. Nice.
Going backwards again to the Dallas game on 11-4 for rebounds, total 59.
That's an amazing stat.
That's nuts.
Regardless of what size the opponent is.
100%, yeah.
Assist, our game high was 20 against East Texas A&M.
Steals, game high, 16, again versus Dallas.
Blocked shots, our game high was 12, and that was actually in the Northwestern loss at home.
Wow, dang. Turnovers, high, 22, 3 different games. First game was Youngstown State. Second game was versus Oregon, fair. And then third game, ACU, Abilene Christian, on New Year's Eve.
Fouls, game high was 26, and that was against Arkansas State in November.
Bless. All right. Moving on to game high individual. Okay.
Start off with, oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Okay. Points. 27 for our Matthew Elizabeth. And that was against Louisiana Monroe.
Bingo! Suck it, ULM. Next, field goals made. Two games. Was Matt Heyman with 10, and it was the ULO. Oh my God, I can't even talk. ULM game and Northwestern State when we won.
There.
Yep.
Yeah. Field goal attempts. The leader was Matt with 19, and that was in two different games: the ULM game that we won, and East Texas A&M in February.
Love it. 3-point field goals made. It's a long one. That was 6 with Nana when we played Monmouth.
3-point field goal attempts. The high was Matt with 13. That was against New Orleans.
Let's go. Next, we have free throws made, and that was 7 with Keon, and that was again when we played New Orleans.
Free throw attempts. The high was Nana with 14, and that was against a Presbyterian in the Axum Classic.
Nice.
The E-Tech Axum Classic. Let me correct
E-Tech Axum Classic. I almost wore that hat this morning. Okay. Next, we had rebounds with 13. 2 different players, 2 different games. First was Jelani Stone at the Presbyterian game and the Axum Classic. And then the second one was Krishan Christmas, Mr. Cece, in the ACU game on New Year's Eve.
Assist high was 10 assists for Keon, and that was in the East Texas A&M game.
Nice. Steals, 5, CC versus Lamar.
Blocked shots, also 5, and that was Nana in the A&M Corpus Christi game.
And then
Oh, not a good one, but
not a great one. Turnovers. This was not a great game from him, but we love him. Carry on. Keon Thompson, 11 turnovers in one game, and that was East Texas A&M. Still won, but still 11 turnovers.
Yeah. So fouls, obviously, the high would be 5, and we've had a couple of people foul out throughout the year. We have Dom, Matt, Cece, Nana, and Keith, and the games were University of Dallas, UIW, Houston Christian, UTRGV, and Oregon.
Love to see it. Okay, we're going to quickly just run through the Southland Conference awards that were given out at the end of the year. Obviously, we weren't on any of these. But that's okay. So that's why we're just going to go through it really quickly. I mean, a bunch of these were very much reserved. So first was Player of the Year. I'm assuming his first name is Javon. Yeah. Javon Garcia from McNeese.
Defensive Player of the Year, Christian Shoemate from McNeese.
God, that guy cannot do no wrong. He's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. So highly deserved. Newcomer of the Year, Sam Hines Jr., Southeastern.
Freshman of the Year, Jeremy Elise.
Yeah.
Southeastern.
And then Coach of the Year, shocker here, Will Wade, McNeese, but actually
Wiretap Will Wade of McNeese, formerly of McNeese.
Formerly of McNeese. Just gonna say formerly of McNeese. Oh, what a douche. Anyway.
All right. All SEC first team.
SLC.
Javon Garcia, McNeese, senior guard.
Hold on, pause. We had a comment. What was the game high for alumni yelling at the other team and refs? Maybe Brian. That had to be it. I really still wish that we would have went to that game. It was just so hard because it was a random, I think, Monday night.
We got to make that category next season.
I think that would be a great category to put on there because as a single entity, yes, it has to be Brian. But I think there was a game where there was like a bunch of alumni there. Like Brian was there. I know, Travis, you came to a home game. there was a game this season, a home game, where there was a bunch of us all there, and like we were pretty rowdy. I don't remember what that home game was. It was a blur, but yeah, that was a good one. But I think as a single entity, as a single family, I think Brian and the fam totally won that category. And then he commented, "Just doing my part to participate."
You get a participation trophy for that one. You do.
We should actually send them some like blue ribbons or something. I love it. Oh, y'all are so funny. Okay. So go ahead.
Next player on the first team is all you.
Oh, sorry. You already did first one. So Gary Clark from A&M Corpus Christi is a senior forward from St. Louis Mo.
We got Sam Hines Jr., who was also the newcomer of the year from Southeastern, grad student guard from Marietta, Georgia.
All right. Why are these names, dude?
Jacavion.
You're better at this than I am. Jacavion Buckley, Southeastern senior guard from Shelbyville.
And Shelbyville is literally right down the road from that, FYI.
Yeah.
And Bryson Dawkins, HCU junior guard from Dothan, Alabama.
Wild. He's the one that put up like 1,000 points on us that game.
Yeah.
Also very shocked that Shoemate didn't get first team, but
me too.
You know what I mean? Like, dang.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, so all Southland Conference second team. You're gonna start it because again, I can't pronounce these names. I'm gonna butcher them.
Kadir Copeland McNeese, junior guard from Philly.
Then we have Jamal West Jr. from Nichols, senior forward, Baltimore.
Christian Shoemate McNeese, senior forward from Chi-Town.
I wonder if he knows Trell then.
I don't know. I was wondering the same thing. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't think he played for them at any point when Terrell was playing for us and we were still in SLC.
But they're both from Chicago area, so I was just wondering if they...
Well, yeah, I was thinking. Sorry, I didn't finish my thought. I never got to see if they interacted because they never played. Yeah, so I don't know. That's a curious question.
I know. Okay. Then we had Addison Patterson from Northwestern State, which again, great player. So I agree with that one. Northwestern State senior forward from. We're just gonna go Ontario, Canada, because I'm not gonna even try to pronounce where he's from.
We got Alexis Marmoleos from Lamar, junior guard, Santiago, Dominican Republic. I'm so tired of hearing his name.
100%. Then we have SLC all defensive team, starting it off with Christian Shoemate McNeese, senior forward, Chicago.
Gerald Colonel from Northwestern State, junior forward, Savannah, Georgia.
What a cool last name. Adam Hamilton, Lamar, senior center, Buckeye, Arizona. I love that.
It's so funny because my cousin went to a high school in Louisiana called Buckeye, but anyway, neither here nor there. Okay, funniest last name. I have to say this real quick since you commented on Colonel, because literally, y'all know me and my true crime docs. The one I was just watching last, you're never going to believe what this victim's last name was. Boob. His last name was Boob.
I love that.
What anyway, how does that happen? Where does that come from? I don't understand. Also, he had a wife who took that last name. I'm sorry. I would never, if I was even going to get married, number one, if I was going to actually change my last name, number two, if your last name is Boob, I ain't taking it. Sorry.
No, sorry.
That all to yourself. Okay.
You're taking my last name.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
Third on the list, Adam for all defensive teams, since I got us off. Oh, you just said that one. Sorry. Fourth on all defensive teams, since I got us off track. Jacavian Buckley, Southeastern senior guard from Shelbyville, Texas.
And last but not least, Andrew Holyfield from Lamar, junior forward from Beaumont, hometown kid. All right.
Fair enough. All right. Now it's our actual little PMA awards section.
These are the most important ones. Like, who gives a rat's about the others? Because, Okay.
So I think we have the same on a lot of these, but
Okay.
it is what it is. MVP overall, we were both in full agreement. Matthew, Elizabeth, Heyman.
I love that you call him that, but let me declare it. His middle name is not Elizabeth. His middle name is actually Matthew. So it's Kyle Matthew. I just want to make sure I don't want people to think.
Yeah, his middle name is not actually Elizabeth. If you haven't heard me explain why I say it before, I'll say it again real quick. One of my true crime podcasts that I watch, I don't even know how they started it, but it's kind of a funny thing during if they're kind of saying it's like using, when you use someone's middle name, either they did something really good or they're in trouble. It's like kind of shot, and they just tag on the middle name of Elizabeth to anyone's name if they're shocked. And there's lots of times that we're like Matthew, so Matthew Elizabeth. There you have it.
Yeah, love to see it.
But yeah, when we ran through the individual category leaders on stats, he was number one on a vast majority of them. So the numbers don't lie.
Numbers don't lie. Just like ball don't lie. Numbers don't lie. And absolutely, Matt is you couldn't replace him. And you can't replace him. So anyway, okay, moving on.
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there.
Little Thunder. Okay, moving on to most improved player. We were both on the same kind of wavelength here on this one. And we both said Dom. And the reason being is we were kind of considering, and Jacqueline definitely put this into perspective for me too. We were considering from the start of the season to the end of the season. So Dominic really, really improved a lot from the very first games of the season till the end. And I really wish he would stay. That's, you know what I'm saying? If he decides to stay.
Yeah, and like on this one, like Alex said, I was thinking more beginning to end of season, and it may not even necessarily be that he particularly improved, but what we were seeing from him, it may have just been that he had more of an opportunity and got more comfortable and more confident because he is a freshman.
Right.
We definitely were seeing a lot more from him at the end of the season than we did at the very beginning. And I put together this list before I looked at the individual category leaders. And so I was quite happy to see that he was in the top 5 on several of them. So
exactly. And I feel like that was very justifiable too. And again, I think that he did improve a lot in confidence. He improved a lot in many different areas over the course of the season. That's why I was really, really hoping. I mean, yes, his name is entered into the portal, but he's still considering SFA. So I'm really, really hoping that our new coach and the staff can hopefully convince him to stick around, because I really, really, truly do think he's talented. He just needs more time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Best defensive player. Now, Alex said the same one as me on this, but I will give a little special honorable mention to Matt, because Matt does play some of the hardest, best defense I've ever seen. But overall, I'm going to give it to Cece. And Alex agreed with me.
100%. I think Cece, and again, I'm just so freaking thrilled that early on he's like, no, I'm committing. I'm staying at SFA, because he is, and I said it earlier, he's a workhorse. He literally will play until he is cramping and his sides are hurting. I mean, how many times this season have we seen him literally just bend over, just trying to breathe in between plays? Like, he's a workhorse. I mean, that's the best way to describe it. I don't care if he's having a horrible offensive game, his defense will be on point every single time. And he doesn't foul a lot, which is interesting.
It's because he's so athletic. He's one of the most athletic players I've ever seen. My dad points that out constantly. And so it's like he can just come out of nowhere and
he can go steal
without fouling or anything, because for one, he has good court vision and he's paying attention, but he's also so athletic that he can pop up out of nowhere. He can jump out of the gym. He can do anything.
Yeah. So the next one, Jacqueline and I differed a little bit, and we'll both explain ours. So, in terms of best role player, so I agree 100% with Jacqueline's. I just wanted to put somebody different just so that we could have a little differential discussion. So I said, depending on the game, depending on the lineup, and depending on, how the game was going, it's really honestly very dependent. There's a couple of these I'm just like, man, it just depends on where we're at and who's doing what. So most of the time, it's Matt and Keon for me. Like, they both did exactly what they needed to do. I mean, there were a lot of games where Matt was even playing outside of his role. You know what I mean? Like, he would play any position on that court. And then Keon came in after he was injured, and he did what a point guard is supposed to do. And I just wish that we had Keon the whole season, because I truly do think he's a good point guard. He just, again, needed to be healthy, and two, just needs more time to progress, and so that's who I put for role. And I absolutely agree with Jacqueline's as well. So go ahead.
For best role player, I'm going to say Jelani, because I feel like we've bragged on him a lot. And if you want to catch up on that, you can go listen to our prior episode to this. But, there were a lot of games he started. There were a lot of games he didn't. There were games that he said put someone else in over me, because they're a better matchup to the team we're playing. So I just feel like he's very, as I said last time, he's very, very selfless as a player, and the team always comes first. He'll take whatever role is necessary. And even if he's not in the game and not getting minutes, he's cheering you on, hyped, totally engaged. So whatever role he needs to fill, he always did that.
100%. And as you can see, my mom agrees.
Yeah.
Yes, Jelani. Yes. Jelani. Yeah, agreed. 100%. Okay, moving on for time purposes, because we could talk about these guys forever. Next, best clutch player. We were both in agreement here. I mean, it's got to be Matthew Elizabeth. Like, when the game's on the line, when you're up by 2 or down by 2, 100%, the person you want with the ball is going to be Matt.
When you're tied and you got about 3 seconds on the clock, you want Matthew Elizabeth Heyman throwing up that half-court shot for the Sports Center top 10 play.
Nope, exactly. 100%. There is no one on that team. I love you all, don't get me wrong, but there is nobody else on that team that I'd rather have with that ball with seconds left on the clock.
Can I say something so funny about that? And I'm literally just being funny because I chuckled about this yesterday. But the other day I was rewatching the social media post where SF men's basketball stacked the 2 different Sports Center plays of Matt's.
Mm-hmm.
And on the replay of that one where he hit the half court shot at NOLA when the ball was about to be inbounded, Tierno's running up there like he's about to get like he was going to pass it to him. And I'm just like,
ain't happening, brother.
No, baby, no.
Sit down, Giraffe.
He ain't passed it to you half court. He's going to air it up and make that shot.
Love to see it. Oh, man. Okay, moving on. So we got funniest player. I put 2 because, honestly, I got 2 different reasons, but I think we also agreed on one of them. So funniest player, I put Ethan and Matt. Okay, so we agree on Matt because, obviously, Matt is hilarious. He's so funny. His facial expressions on the court, off the court are hilarious. He's just funny. He's just a funny guy. I mean, he's
just the most unperturbed player. Nothing gets him.
He's not bothered.
Yeah.
If anything, he's just like, okay, whatever. You know what I mean? It's just funny to us. It's funny. And then Ethan cracks me up. I mean, I'm sure he cracks Jacqueline up when he's on the bench. Like, he'll make the funniest faces. He'll do the best little celebration dance. He is just so calm and cool and collected and chill. And then all of a sudden he'll turn to the person next to him and say something. And then that person is just cracking up. And I'm just like, Ethan. I mean, there are so many times I'm just like, you're so unserious. But then there's other times where he is literally helping people out on the court, like saying, go over there, do this, do that. I mean, great support from the bench.
I think he's just super locked into whatever the vibe is.
That's it. He's locked into the vibe. Okay, moving on. Most spirited, we both agreed on this one. It's our boy Jelani. God, I love you so much, man. He was always down to celebrate anything, down to celebrate big shots, big dunks, on and off the court. Anytime he got a good layup, good layup, good dunk, anything, he was fired up, dude. I mean, you could just see it. You could see the passion in his face. Anytime someone else did good on the court, man, he's coming up right beside them to like high five them or like fire them up. Like literally, if you need someone to fire you up, it's going to be Jelani Stone.
Agreed.
And he always had great bench celebrations, which was also one of ours on here. And yeah, we put him for best bench celebration as well. I'm just skipping ahead. We'll just cover it.
That one off.
Yeah. So best bench celly was Jelani, 100%. I mean, there was games where he didn't even sit down because he's just standing there, just like watching, and then he's just like, yeah, 3, like he's just all over the place.
And then the refs want to come tell him to sit down, which I get, but also I'm like, come on, man. Anyways.
Even when they're not on, it's like, you're not even on this side of the court, my dude. Like, I get it when they're on this side of the court, but like,
yeah,
you have more important things to worry about on the game here. Don't worry about what we're doing over here. Anyway.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Best sixth man. So I said Nana, and now while he wasn't a sixth man most of the season, towards the end of the season, he was not in the starting lineup and he was coming off the bench. And I think he did spectacular in that role and was not fazed by it, upset by it, anything like that. So
agreed. This was one of mine that I said, honestly, it just really depends on the lineup because it just depends on who was starting to see who would come off the bench. So I put, honestly, it really depends on the lineup. So it would be Nana. Sometimes it'd be Keith that would come in. Sometimes it'd be Miles that would come in. It very much was dependent on the lineup. We had a lot of really good man off the bench moments this season.
I agree with those as well because when Miles wasn't in the starting lineup due to health or injury and coming off the bench, he was still great. And like we said the last episode, Keith did a lot of great things this season for his first season with us. So we'll get to more on that in a minute.
Right. Best hair.
So I put down a lot of people on this one because I just kept thinking of other things, but I'll run through them quickly. Keith, same hairstyle all season. Loved it. Keenan, 2 different hairstyles, I think. I think he did braids and he did the natural. Love them both. Matt, y'all all know I like Matt's hair best when he wears it natural. That's just how I like it. I love the natural hair, but he's been in braids recently. And Davion had the braids this season most of the time and love it.
Love it. I put Jelani and Matt. I agree with what you said about Matt. His natural hair is the best. But there's just something when he has his like braids, either like all braided or half braided. I'm just like, oof, fire. But yeah, best hair. And then, I mean, Jelani just always has like his hair just like adds to his personality.
You're right. He has great hair.
You know what I mean? So that's why I put him on there. We already did bench Sally. Oh, I skipped over one. Sorry. Best dunk player of the year. Obviously, mine was Matt. Matt had some of the best dunks this year too. I mean, like breakaway dunks. I think he had just an ugly post dunk. I mean, just put someone on post. Matt has some of the best dunks this year.
I do agree with that, and I gave it to him last year for that monster dunk he got on Sports Center. This time I gave it to Nana since it's his senior season, and he did get a lot of spectacular dunks. So
I agree. That's a good point. Okay, then last but not least, best post-game hug. I agree with Jacqueline, everyone who came and gave us hugs for sure. But
a few shout outs on mine: Matt, Jelani, Cece, Davion, Nana, Ethan.
Yeah, my
love
favorite.
everyone else's hugs, but typically those guys will make the effort to come give us a hug, regardless. Sometimes we have to make the effort to go on the court to get our hugs, which we don't mind doing. But I'm just saying, special shout out to those particular guys.
And my special shout out goes to Jelani, because no matter what, he always came over, gave us hugs, gave my mom a hug. Always said appreciated us, always was very, very, again, selfless. And my favorite thing about getting hugs from these guys is literally they'll be here all 4 years, and like Nana, he'll come over every single time and literally like, I'm sorry, I'm sweaty. I'm like, you've been here for 5 years, not like we don't give a shit. It's been 4 years. Give us the hug. Anyway. And it's just funny. It's funny. And then also, it's just also funny too, because we're so short and they're so tall. And I feel like I'm like, it's
easier when we're in our seats because we're elevated a little bit. But if we're on the court, it's like hugging their waist.
Literally hugging their waist. And I'm like, ooh, I'm right by your junk. Anyway. I love it. Okay. So that's it. We have a couple more things to discuss really quickly, because a lot of this stuff will be happening in off season. Well, we are in off season obviously right now, but you get the point. A lot of this will happen once the portal and once the, March Madness games are over.
Yeah. Just previews of things to come in our discussion once they happen.
So a few things, there's some people that we know that are in the portal or potentially in the portal. We don't know. Matt's a question mark. It said he was going into the portal, but we never know for sure until that person says it 100%. Same thing with Keon, Keith, Dom, Tierno. I mean, it's been reported that they're in the portal, but unless that person says like, hey, I'm entering the portal, like Dom says, hey, I'm entering the portal, but I'm still keeping SFA as an option.
We're going to lose it if Matt leaves us. We really hope Keon stays with us. We really hope Dom stays with us because he's so young and has already done so well. And Keith, I had no idea had any more eligibility left since he was a grad.
We had no idea Matt still had eligibility.
But if he would consider staying, we would love to have him another season as well.
100%. That's my thing. We had no idea that Keith had eligibility left and Matt. So I'm like, we were under the impression at the end of the season that they were done. And I was like, okay, I can live with that because they're done. But the fact that they're like, no, we have another season. I'm like, but what? Okay. So that threw us for a loop. We know for sure not in the portal because it's either they've said 100% that they're staying, like CC, because he posted it. He said it. He's staying. I love you. We love you. God bless America. Davion, it's been rumored that he's staying. And
I hope so. I hope they both.
Yes. And then, of course, we have the people who 100% graduated. They're
we love them.
Dunzo, obviously, Nana, Jelani, Clayton, Miles, Ethan. So in terms of off-season episodes, these are a few things that we have planned. So obviously, whenever the portal closes, like I said before, officially, we will give an update with who stayed and who goed, who gone, who left. We have every intention of hunting down the new coach and getting a podcast with this guy. 100%. Like, we are committed to hunting him down. I don't care if we have to like Zoom it like this, not in person. If we have to physically march up to the Performance Center and knock on the door and say, yo, coach, let us in. It's the podcast girls. We're here. We got to talk. So that's happening. It will happen. We're speaking it into existence.
It's going to happen. We'll make it
It's
happen.
gonna happen. Of course, we'll have other off-season podcasts like we normally do. We'll cover, our summer shenanigans that we usually do, which I'm sure I'll have plenty to report there. I have multiple summer shenanigan trips planned and lined up.
Same. I got my big 2-week trip in July.
And I have a cruise in May. So we'll have a lot to discuss in July or August. And then we'll do, a couple off-season stuff in terms of sports too. Usually we do one with football. We'll try to cover as much as we can. And then obviously we'll do our preseason stuff too. We always do preseason podcasts with, State of the Union, who's here, who's new, what's the season looking like, what's the schedule look like, etc. Which will be interesting because again, this is our first season in a really long time that we don't have Keller. So who knows what kind of off season or, non-conference games we'll get. He had a lot of connections with people, but so does this new guy. I mean, he's played and coached a lot of different people. And so who knows? Maybe we'll get a game with Tech.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh, yeah, let's go. So anyway, it's been a season. Brian, thanks for all doing what y'all do. Great recaps and insight on games. While it was marginally a fun season, I'm looking forward to the next one. 100%.
Yeah.
Same. We really are too. We're trying to put the past behind us. We're trying to move on. Obviously, we are so thankful for the coaching staff that we've had throughout this year and throughout the past, Keller era. It was fun. It was exciting. It was everything you wanted college basketball to be. There were ups, there were downs, there was everything in the middle. And again, very, very thankful for everything that Coach Keller led us through. I mean, he led us through COVID. He got us the Duke win. A lot of really, really good wins were under his time. So again, thankful for all of that. And thankful for all the coaches for this season for sticking it out and keeping the guys focused and motivated, trying to get through the season and trying to do the best that they could do. We've heard plenty of rumor and plenty of insider knowledge that the new coach is basically, most likely cleaning house, which is normal when a new coach comes in. He's going to want to bring in his own people. I mean, that's just, it happens.
That's the way that's the way the biz works.
It is. And
but,
so
like Alex said, much love and appreciation to our entire coaching staff this season and in the past. And I'll say quickly, special big shout out to Tony for stepping into the role of interim, and not a desirable spot to be in by any means. Nope. It was a rough ride, and to just have it thrown in your lap, and I don't think he could have done any better. It was just the situation was what the situation was, where we were at that point in this season. But huge shout out to him for taking that burden and really connecting with all of the guys. And, I think it speaks a lot to what he did behind the scenes and with the guys that we didn't lose any players after that. Because a lot of times you have a coach leave in the middle of the season and it's just utter upheaval. And we actually went uphill after that for a bit. So I know that I'm sure I can't speak for them, but I'm sure a lot of the guys are real grateful to him for guiding the ship through the rest of that storm.
Yeah. And also just grateful for Tony always being as transparent as possible throughout the whole tenure he's been here. And like all the coaches being super sweet and open to us and chatting with us, and always, what's the word I'm looking for? Humoring us as fans and also doing what we do. I mean, there's never been a coach in any of the 7 years that we've been doing this who is like completely just like, well, what are you doing? Like, who do you think you are? Like, I'm not talking to you. Like, no, they've always been super welcoming and very, very appreciative of that and very supportive of what we do. So Shout out to all of them. But here we are. We're entering a new era. We're entering a new time in SFA basketball. It's exciting. It's a little nervy just because we don't know what we don't know. And as we keep hearing, rumors flying and this and that, and this person's leaving, this person's going, and this and that. And it's like, I said this at the very beginning when Travis was on. I'm like, we just have to wait. This is the point of this year where, especially this year with our new coach and coaching staff, we just need to wait till the dust settles, and then we can start making predictions and this and that, because we don't know anything. Yeah. And as much as we like to pretend that we have like the inside track, we did. We're starting from ground zero now. Like, we had all the coaches' phone numbers. We had all of that. We got nothing now. We are literally waiting. We're starting from scratch here. And I'm hoping, like I said, that we can get face to face with the new coach at some point soon this summer and just be like, hey, what can we do to help you? Because if you need a connection from like team to fans to alumni, we gotcha. We're here. This is what we do. So we're hoping that we can have that introduction soon as Tech loses. No offense.
I'll say, as soon as he's done and gets here, we'll get on the ball.
We will. But so to end things off, as always, we are just very appreciative of every fan that we have for supporting us and always listening to our rants and our raves and commenting and being engaging. And it's been a wild 7 years doing this. I can't believe it's been 7.
Can't either.
Just yesterday, we were starting off very, very rudimentary doing this podcast and, just recording our voices and uploading it. And that was what we did. And now it's like, look at us now being live and
look at us.
Look at us now. Look at us now. Look at us
now.
Go. I do have to give one quick shout out to Matt Rocco and the Rocco family and Sawmill Six Man. Matt bought us a couple things for us to use for our podcast. And I didn't want to mess with it now because I don't even know what I don't know about it yet. So I have to look at it and see how we can incorporate it. Obviously, I'm going to incorporate it with our podcast moving forward for next season, which probably means having to purchase a few other things in order to make the experience of our show even better. So I wanted to wait until a whole brand new season to do that. I didn't want to have to try to
we got to learn how to use it, but expect some exciting tech advances next season. Thanks to Matt.
Yeah, and just again as a reminder, we talked about it with Travis, but being a supporter and supporting the NIL, if you're a basketball fan at SFA in any capacity, please just consider supporting the NIL collective and being a Sawmill Six-Man member, even for as little as $10 a month. Literally $10 a month. That's maybe one Starbucks that you don't get per month. That's one meal at a fast food restaurant.
There's the email address. The website address at the bottom of the screen.
Yeah, sawmillcollective.com. Just $10 a month at minimum would be great to start. And if you can afford more later, great, wonderful. If you can only give like $20 every 3 months, again, great. Whatever you can do is fantastic and would be very, very helpful. We have to compete, and we have to continue to raise money in order to stay competitive and recruit and retain these players. So thank you all again so much for everything throughout the season. And of course, don't go away because we'll be back for crazy off-season stuff, just not as constant, but you'll get some stuff from us after the portal and after March Madness is over. But that'll be obviously for a few more weeks. So stick around and hold on to your butts, as Samuel L. Jackson says in Jurassic Park.
Yes.
Hold on to your butts. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. It's raining cats and dogs in East Texas, specifically here in NAC. So I don't know what it's doing in Tyler, but
it rained last night. It's not raining now.
Oh yeah, it's been raining all morning and it's raining currently. So It's going to be a nice dreary Friday for us here in Nacogdoches, but that's okay. I'll take it. Our grass needed it. Hope you have a wonderful day. Have a great weekend. And man, as always, Axe and Jacks.
With Alex and Jax.